Hello and welcome back to the Sustainable Weight Loss channel. My name is Dr. Leslie Goth. Once again, it is an absolute pleasure to be with you here today. I'm going to continue today's episode, episode 4, from last week's episode, all about healthy habits. And the one area of healthy habits that I did not address last week is the healthy habit of your self-care. Now, a lot of people really don't create any self-care in their lives. And it always just baffles me, because if you're not taking care of yourself, then how do you ever expect to be able to reach your goals in your body, but not just reach your goals, but sustain your goals? Because remember, this is not about just being able to lose a bunch of weight just to be able to gain it all right back. This is about developing certain habits that you can incorporate into your busy lives, that you can incorporate into your life no matter what's going on, whether it's a Sunday, a Monday, a holiday, your birthday, whether you're traveling, whether you're not. So incorporating healthy habits will be essential for you to be able to attain your goals and stay there and not worry about the up and down of the yo-yo weight that comes and goes. So last week I didn't talk about self-care. Today we're going to talk about self-care and the importance of self-care. And I value self-care so much. I treasure my self-care because I know that without it, it's going to be hard for me to do the things that I need to do. Without taking care of myself and really thinking about what I need, there's no way I have enough in my tank to be able to love and care for the people that are in my life, or to be able to do the work that I do, because I'll be running on empty. So I'm sure you've all heard that analogy of you're on an airplane, and in case of loss of cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will magically fall from the sky, and you are to put on your oxygen mask first before helping anyone else around you. That is truly the motto that I live by, that if I'm not putting on my metaphorical oxygen mask first, how am I going to love and help or take care of anyone around me? So that's the motto I want you to live by too. Are you putting your oxygen mask on first or last? And if you're putting it on last, are you running out of air? Literally. So there's 4 areas of self-care that I really want to talk about today. The first area of self-care is emotional. How are you taking care of your emotional needs? Are you turning to food? Are you an emotional eater? Are you a binge eater? Is that why weight loss has been such a challenge for you? So we want to be able to manage our emotions. We want to be able to regulate our emotions and keep as stable as we possibly can through the stressful days in life that we are living in today. Certainly the last 2 to 3 years have been extremely stressful. It's not going to go away. There's always going to be some type of stress in our lives and in the world that impact us greatly. How do you manage your stress? Do you just eat it away? Do you just numb it? Do you just stuff it down or avoid the feelings that are legitimately going on inside you? So I really want you to think about ways that you can be emotionally taking care of you. What could that look like? It again means, are you getting enough rest? It means, are you eating well throughout the day? It means, do you have a social network that you can turn to and get support? Does that mean you maybe have a therapist or a coach that helps you emotionally navigate through life when it gets to be a little crazy? So emotionally is an important area that you need to be looking at. And how are you taking care of your emotions? Do you shame yourself for having feelings? Or do you honor your feelings and say, okay, I need to take care of these feelings instead of shaming myself for these feelings? So that's the first area that I want you to really dig into and think about, maybe do some journaling about. The second area of your self-care is spiritual. How do you get spiritually fed? Is it through faith? Is it through religion? Is it through nature? Is it through the universe? I mean, where is your connection to the world around you? And what is your worldview? So that's super important to know. How are you feeding your spiritual needs and making sure that those are getting met as well? Because if you're spiritually starving, that could show up in how you're taking care of yourself with food. So emotional and spiritual, very important areas of self-care that I want you to start to look at and dig into. The next area of your self-care that I want you to dig into is your social area of self-care. We are created as social beings. Now, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert doesn't really matter. We still need connection in our life to feel loved, to feel accepted, to feel grounded, to feel supported, to know that we have at least one other person on this planet that we can turn to just do life with, or share an experience with, or to call and say, can you believe this happened? So socially, are you getting that need met? Or are you just feeling super isolated and alone, maybe depressed because of pandemic and quarantine and things like that? Or do you get stressed out and just want to kind of crawl under a shell or a rock and just kind of stay there? So even if that's you, I'm more introverted, believe it or not. So if you're more of an introvert, that's fine. You still need connection. You still need to know that you're being seen and you're being loved and you're being cared about and thought of. So dig into that area. Is that an area that there's room to grow in? Can you expand connections? Can you expand socially to get part of your love tank filled up in that way? And then the last area of self-care that I want to address with you today is financial. How are you taking care of yourself financially? Are you aware of your finances? Do you follow a budget? Are you stressed about money all the time and always, just worrying about the next dollar or how you're going to pay the mortgage or living paycheck to paycheck? That's something to evaluate and look at and get support with. If that's something in your life that is stressing you out, that again, you're not taking care of and just falling victim to, you don't have to be a victim to it. I want to encourage you to take charge. Just kind of own the situation, own what's going on, own what's not working for you, and start to problem solve ways that you can shift and make some changes so that finances are cared for. So, with all those areas, we have a relationship with our emotions, we have a relationship spiritually, and we have a relationship socially, and we do have a relationship financially. So in all of those areas, how are you taking care of yourself? It's a lot to think about, but I want you to start to dig in. Maybe just take one area at a time, but please start to value your self-care as a healthy habit to incorporate into your daily life, because that can be sustainable. And as you let weight go and as you lose weight and land in the body that you're meant to be in, you want to be able to nurture yourself and take care of yourself in the way that you deserve so that that can be sustained. And again, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be really hard to take care of anyone else that you love or care about. So make it a priority in this next week to start to evaluate this and start to make some changes and put yourself first, love yourself, and take care of yourself. Until next time, I'm Dr. Leslie Goth. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, and you can certainly find me at my website, lesliegothcoaching.com. Bye-bye.